기억하면나 배선들아 어로광한 투셔레티.
Yes, I'm by the names of Herbert Seguja, a 42-year-old Ugandan. I'm a stand-up comedian and a teacher at Standard High School, Zana. I'm so glad to be back in Rwanda. Rwanda is my second home, apart from Uganda. So I'm glad to be in Rwanda once again, and I'm glad to be hosted at Gen Z Comedy. Yeah, it's a nice initiative because I believe in Pan-Africanism, and as a teacher of nationalism, I've seen liberation struggles where countries have been liberated. So it's very nice that Rwanda celebrates this day because we have seen, I've taught its past history. So if people of Rwanda celebrate this day, I think it's a very nice initiative to remember where Rwanda came from. Basically, the smartness and cleanness of Kigali as a city, and then the citizens who abide by the rules of the country, unlike in Uganda, where you see the opposite of some stuff. So I'm impressed by what people follow in Rwanda, especially in the capital of Kigali. Yes. I was inspired by a Zambian legendary comedian called Ben Philly, who came to Uganda to act as the president of Uganda. Ben Philly comes from Chelabombwe in Zimbabwe. I think it's a copper belt area. So he was invited by the president of Uganda to come and act and do impressions of the president. He also acted the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela. So as I went for the ceremony at Kolo Airstrip, I was impressed by his acts, and I felt like, let me try to do this. So that's how I came up with the character of acting the president of Uganda. Just like other countries, Rwandan audience is very nice and very fresh, and they are willing to welcome comedy because they have watched comedy for a long period of time. But the difference with Gen Z comedy, why I fell in love with it, they are just ready. You know, sometimes when you go to other areas and for comedy shows, some people are not purposely for comedy, are not ready for comedy. Okay, of course they do, but it depends. But the difference with the Rwandan comedy audience is that they purposely come to watch comedy. So when you are well prepared, they receive comedians very well, and I like the fact that they love local comedians because it starts from home. Once the audience loves local comedians, then it becomes easier for international comedians. I follow what we call teacher's code of conduct. I'm a teacher by profession and a comedian by profession. So I know what to do with teaching, and I know what to do with comedy. When I'm in class, it's class time. When I'm in comedy, it's comedy time. Of course, sometimes you integrate comedy into into teaching because we studied that as a course unit, drama in education. But as long as you know where to stop, because these days the young generation are not do not prefer traditional teachers. They love generational teachers. So teachers who can at least throw in something small, some jokes, teachers with high sense of humor. So it becomes easier for them to understand and learn. But at least I know that this is my limit. When it comes for serious teaching, you give them time and then you reserve some time, like 2 to 3 minutes. You just drop in jokes that are based on what you are teaching. So, of course, they take me serious because I separate the two professions. That's why I've taught for the last 19 years. It was very nice. It was a great moment for me. It was a great opportunity for me to go to, it was my first time actually to go to US or outside. It was very nice. I had a great time. I was the only black from Africa. The class had over 50 students, and it helped me so much because I was able to find my bone. Before I went to American Comedy Institute, I used to act as the president only. But when I told those directors, especially my teacher, Steve Rosenfield, the director of American Comedy Institute, I asked him to help me and guide me and nurture me into what I love most, because I'm a teacher. So I told him that I want my comedy to be based on what I do. This will enable me to do research because the resources are available from the school libraries. So they molded me as a teacher. That's why when I came back from the American Comedy Institute, I became teacher Mpamire because I had been nurtured well from the things that I want. I always want to do research. I always want, they taught me comedy writing and performing. When you watch my comedy, you can see that this person made research, this person wrote down. And the most important secret in comedy, always write down your script. After studying, the biggest lesson I learned from my journey to US is, first of all, know what you want. After knowing what you want, look for various ways of getting it and then get started. I sat down and I said, what do I want in life? Comedy had just started in Uganda with one of the veterans, that is Pablo. But I realized that it was more important if I get more skilled in comedy writing. Everyone has his call. Me, I preferred to be more skilled, to be to have a training where I can learn more and more and more. So because of that, I took the initiative to look for the funding, and by requesting the State House to help me with the scholarship, that means I knew what I wanted. After getting what I wanted, I went for it. Sometimes in life we get to know what we want, but we do not know how to get it, or we just sit on our dreams. So I didn't sit on my dream. After knowing that I want to get training in US, I looked for the funds. And after looking for the funds, I went for it. So that was a big lesson. Know what you want, look for ways of getting it, and get started. Issues of mimicking comes with association and association and getting used. I won't lie to you, it would be hard to mimic someone because I've not had that association with the person, just like how I do it with the president of Uganda. He's a person I've seen for a long time, and mimicking is not just going there and mimic. You have to learn the antics. You have to know what that person does. You have to know the mannerisms. You have to know this and this and this. And that person must also have a sense of humor, because it's not about mimicking. It's about getting humor out of that person. So unlike the president of Uganda, it is hard for me to mimic, but I have the potential to mimic anyone as long as I have that enough time with that person that I might choose, either musician or Masi, or you get. And I was glad that at least I saw someone from here who used to act as the president here. He was my long-term friend. Know what you want. Know what you want. Don't force yourself. Know what you want. Do you want to do comedy as a hobby? Do you want to make it as a career? If you want to make it as a career, what does it take? If you want to make it as a hobby, what does it take? I would encourage someone who wants to make comedy a lifetime career, because this one takes you to another level. Because once you know what you want, that I want to do entirely, I want to be a comedian, then it will take you to know what you want. What does it require? It requires rehearsing. It requires being creative. It requires you to be unique and genuine. So that brings me to those points again, that if you want to be a successful comedian, first of all, be genuine. Don't lie, be genuine. We have a problem with comedy in Uganda, where some people are not genuine. You come up with a joke, you talk about a certain, because tribal jokes cannot get done if a country has different cultures. They have to talk about, if someone is talking about Uganda, and then you say something that is not genuine about Uganda, then that's not good, because it's not there. It's not good to lie. Be creative. Be creative. Creativity is a key to success in comedy. Be original. Research. One of the directors at American Comedy Institute, Steve Rosenfield, told me that if you find someone who is not a comedian and he cracks a joke, take that joke, it's your joke. If someone cracks a joke and is not a comedian on stage, take that joke. Not even stealing it, take it, it's your joke. But don't steal jokes from other comedians. So that is also another important message. Then another important message, don't fear to start. Don't fear to start. Perform, be on stage regularly. Don't get away from stage. Don't fear to start. Rehearse, research, look for material everywhere. Everything is comedy. This world is just comedy. But when you sit on yourself, it's not good. There is what you call discovering. Be open for criticism. Be open for criticism. If there are people who can be criticized, then they are comedians. There is positive criticism and negative criticism. Negative criticism sometimes tend to pull us down, and you feel like, if people can genuinely tell you, man, Biveko, you are not funny. You try farming. Sit down, think about it. Don't, when someone, if your inner man says you should do comedy, work on your piece, but don't go for farming if you are supposed to be a comedian. People are going to discourage you. People are going to say this, people are going to say this. People are going to say, for example, I've been doing, when I started doing Teacher Mpamire on the street, my first episodes of Teacher Mpamire on the street, someone said, But these things are done in West Africa, Nigeria. You are copying Nigeria. That guy, the one who does Smile Street interviews, is in Ghana. You are copying. People will say, I told them that people in Ghana are different from Uganda. And you have seen the difference when you watch street interviews in Ghana versus our Ugandans. The only difference between the two, for us in Uganda, it's hard to say I don't know. That is the only thing that separates Ugandans basically. They can't say no. At least they try to say something. So don't fear to start. And lastly, nothing is original. Nothing is new in this world. Whatever we do was done. Don't fear to start something. You don't fear. You will never create something new. There is nothing new in this world. Whatever we are doing has ever been done. This comes to my experience. When I started teacher, there was another teacher in Nairobi, Teacher Wanjiku. But I never feared to start. Many people came, you are doing it. There is a teacher in Nairobi doing teacher. I said, let me do what I can. Someone told us there's nothing new. Only you work on it and you put it on another level. That's why I encourage comedians. If you find a character and it works for you, go for it. Don't put it down, upgrade it. You will make it. That last example takes me to Anne, my mentor, Anne Kansime. When I started my filming short videos, many people came up and said, but what you're doing, Anne used to act those skits with, who is that? There's a guy. So someone discouraged me and said, those things are done by Kansime. God has plans for you. The Bible says he knew you before you were, he knew you when you were still in your mother's womb. God has plans for you. So all comedians, my advice is don't fear to start. Do whatever. Don't copy. Learn from experts. Don't copy from them. Learn from the established comedians. Learn a message. Don't fear to ask them, but don't put them down in order for you to go up.